You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, happy Monday to all of you guys listening in on the podcast. Let me just change my ears up here for just a quick second. The long story short of this podcast episode today, I wanted to talk to you guys about the evolution of our equipment setup when it specifically comes to stand-on mowers versus sit-down mowers. We're going to get a little bit of the X's and O's today on this podcast episode. This actually stemmed from a couple conversations in our Link monthly group membership that we have access to. If you guys don't know, I've been talking about it for 6 months. If you want to join, great. If not, absolutely no big deal. But the conversation in that group is for people that are growing. It's a private Facebook community that we have, and we do a weekly live stream on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. It's just a really phenomenal group to network with. Almost 200 members in there and growing every day. The conversation a lot of us are having about is, of course, software, billing, productivity, efficiency, leadership, team building, and so much more. Well, one of the conversations was stand-on versus sit-down, and really broadly speaking, like talking about what the equipment fleets are looking like and growing to, and a lot of people are investing into machines and tractors and skid steers and all that kind of stuff, right? So one question I get quite a bit outside of the Link membership, similarly, is stand-on versus sit-down mower. Now, I have done a couple podcasts, I believe, on this topic over the years, but I know for sure I've done at least one or two YouTube videos, but I wanted to just break it down for just a few minutes and get a little bit more brass tacks, X's and O's for some of you guys that are maybe, number one, getting started in business. Number two, you're looking to grow your fleet. Number three, you're thinking, hey, where's the long-term vision of the fleet? Very, very practical conversations, right, when you're trying to grow and start a lawn and landscaping company. So I will just give you guys my 2 cents. What I say, please don't take it as law. Please don't take it as this is the only way. It's nothing like that ever, of course, with anything that we say or suggest or any of our content. This is just what's working for me, my company, and maybe some other great folks out there in the industry of where I see things going. So really, really simply here, and a lot of what my company is going to be doing moving forward is stand-on mowers only. And there's a couple of reasons why I want to go that way. The pros definitely outweigh the cons. Or the pros of stand-ons outweigh the pros of zero turns. So it's not like pro or con. It's more like 3 pros versus only 2 pros, right? Something like that. It's not like you got to pit one against the other. It's just talking about the evolution of our equipment setup and what everybody likes. And the guys, like I say, my company, but it's really what the guys like and what do they want to use, day to day. They're the ones logging 500 to 700 hours on a mower per year. So it's really making them happy too, and figuring out what's the best way to say it? What they're excited about. Whatever they get excited about is what I get excited about. So my goal is to get the work done profitably. And whatever tools and equipment I can give them to get that done and make them happy, well, that's what we're going to do, right? As a business owner, that's what I want to do, is empower the team. So right now, and this will again links back to some of the conversations in the Link membership, was talking about, we just picked up an Xmark Vertex bagger for our X Series platform. Now, for any of you guys that aren't Xmark users or fans, they basically came out with a new stander but about 2 years ago, whatever it is now. A lot of people are like, oh, it's the right Stander X painted red. Yeah, well, so was the Skag V-Ride painted orange. Okay, relax. I think everybody has amnesia or forgets that or has the memory of a goldfish. That everybody copied it right. Pretty much every standard now is the exact same thing. And I'm not here to defend Xmark. I'm just saying, broadly speaking, when you get people arguing Steel versus Echo, I'm like, dude, it's the same thing. It's a chainsaw, it's a trimmer, it's a blower. Yes, this one has 4 mix or 4-stroke. This one's a 2-stroke purist, and this one's orange black, and that one's orange black. Folks, who cares? Who literally cares? Majoring in the minors. But of course, people will argue until they're blue in the face all day long on YouTube and Facebook comments, and you wonder why nobody ever gains traction in life or in their business or in the macro of life. You're just so concerned about stuff that is so irrelevant. But you know what? Hey, if that's what's going to get clicks and views and people want to talk about that stuff, then guess what? That's what I want to talk about. So here you go, right? But at the end of the day, Xmark came out with the Vertex, and it's been an amazing platform. No doubt about it. The S series is the mid-tier line of the X-Mark platform. So you got E, you can kind of think entry. S is the standard. If I'm not mistaken, I think that might be the designation. And then the X series is like the extreme or the all-in. It's all the bells and whistles, a lot of the extra tech or features and benefits, right? So E, S, and X, kind of sounds like Tesla over here. But the S series Vertex came out, 18 months ago, 2 years ago. And the one that we have already has 12 or 1,300 hours on it. And we haven't used it too much this season. It's like our third mower now. It's our backup. This spring, we threw down for an X-Mark Vertex X series, paid out of pocket for it. We did get seated a 72 X-Mark Vertex. Super grateful and thankful for that. They've been a long-standing partner on the Brian's Law Maintenance YouTube channel. We're arguably probably the number one X-Mark user on social media. I know a lot of people have bought more mowers over the years than us, for sure, especially if you have a larger company, but I don't think anybody's probably sold more mowers. So some people are like, well, why does he get hooked up? Well, we've probably sold about 1,000 units for X-Mark, if not more, over the last 7-8 years we've been on YouTube. So, hey, what do you want me to tell you? That's just how the cookie crumbles. Well, why does that guy get Milwaukee tools for free? Well, every third post on his Instagram is Milwaukee tools. Okay, so hello, there's no secrets out there. And if you want to be that guy, post about that favorite brand, go to GIE or Equip Expo, we call it now, and go network and tell them your history and see if they'll hook you up. Guys, no respect to persons. Neither are the companies that we all see on Instagram and social media, folks. The same opportunities that are available to me are available to you. I mean, for crying out loud. So don't hate the player, hate the game, right? So anyway, grateful that X-Mark sent out that 72, but we did throw down for our own 60. We got the 60 Vertex X with a set of track disc tires, and then the bagger. And the bagger was unfortunately delayed and backordered 3 or 4 months, so we weren't able to bust it out for spring cleanups, but obviously we'll be able to use it for this upcoming fall. So very, very grateful for that. Now, here's where we're at with the stand-on conversation and why I think they're overall a better platform than a sit-down. In no particular order. I don't have a list here in front of my, in my phone or anything. I'm just kind of freestyling. But a lot of people have asked, would you do it all over again, get sit-down mowers or stand-downs? And here's just where I'm at. The short-running list, and I'm not here to convince you. I'm just telling you, if you guys are shopping this thought, here's what I'd come out with. Number one, when you look at price, most stand-on mowers are $1,000 to $3,000, maybe $5,000 cheaper than the zero-turn counterpart. Okay, so an X-Mark 60 with a Cowie is still 15, 16, 17 grand. The Kohler, another 16, 17, 18. And with the Vanguard, you're probably pushing 18, 19 grand. You can get the same thing with an X-Mark Standard Vertex X for 15.5, 16.5. It's already $1,000, $2,000 potentially cheaper. Number two, the performance is pretty much the same, and if not, maybe a little bit faster on a stand-on. You can just turn quicker. You can make lanes quicker. I just feel like it's a little bit more of a Mazda Miata, a little Corvette, versus maybe a boat that's sometimes a zero-turn mower. Now, what happens if you get 5 acre, 10 acres, and you're just trying to mow that all wide open? People are like, well, I'd rather prefer to sit when I'm mowing 5 acres. I get that. I hear that. I've personally, I think I've said that. But what our experience has been is the opposite. My guys would rather stand when they got 5 acres. The platforms are plenty of suspension, plenty of bounce in them. It doesn't affect your knees or your back, like it would sitting down on 5 acres and feeling every undulation or a dip or divot in the lawn. So my guys are convinced that they'd rather stand even with larger properties, which, is fair. And then really, besides price, besides efficiency and productivity, it's really going to come down to safety. And at the end of the day, sitting down and having to jump off a zero-turn mower versus standing up and having to dip off of one of those where you can just literally step off the platform, from working on retaining walls or retention ponds, ditches, hills, of course, anything with a drop-off or a terrace or, a level, if you will, from backyards to commercial sites. It's all, we all have different properties out there, which is, just part of the nature of the beast. A stand-on mower, 1,000%, no hesitation, no doubt about it, no argument. I believe, at least no argument, that it's a much safer unit to get off of or jump off of if it's going to go take a spill. A zero-turn mower, I don't know. I don't even want to fathom. I don't even want to think how you would dismount other than trying to, jump that thing like you're Spider-Man and hopefully make sure that nothing clops you collapses on you, I should say. Collapses on you on the way down for a rollover spill. And God forbid you got pinned underneath that thing and a water or a pond or a pool. My gosh. I mean, my heart goes out to that stuff. I try to be sensitive to that stuff. I know it has happened. I'm sure somebody listening in has had a dramatic situation like that before. I get photos sent anytime there's a horror story out there. Oh, did you see this on Instagram? I'm like, no, I don't want to see that. Please don't send that to me. I don't want that in my mind, my ethos, anywhere around me. No negative karma, no bad vibes, no bad energy. I don't even want to see that stuff, let alone dwell on it or go, whoa, and then watch it 6 more times. Like, that's just sadistic, but it does happen, right? So moving forward, another thing, let's talk about cleanups. Now, it could easily have been made a case up until the Xmark platform example didn't have a bagger for a stand down for about 3 or 4 years. They didn't have one for the Staris, which is the previous platform. That one was unfortunately a little bit of a turd. And they went back to the drawing board and came out with the Vertex, 18 months later. The Vertex S series didn't have the capacity for a bagger, but now the X series does. And it changes the whole conversation. It changes the dynamic of what we're trying to accomplish out there. And if you want a mower that's going to mow year round, for 6, 8 months of the season, 10 months of the season, whatever it is, and then you want to bag leaves. Now with that bagger, that mower is on the same wavelength or just as productive as a zero-turn mower with a bagger. So I'm very, very pumped to put that through the ringer. And now, like I said, navigate all of our mowers moving forward to stand-ons and then stand-ons with baggers for spring and fall cleanups. Now, we don't bag year-round. Some of you guys listening in still can't fathom why or how or that we don't. I get that, especially down south in New England states. Believe it or not, most of what we do in most of the Midwest, it's side discharge. You just shoot the clippings out the side. I know it's a foreign language to some of you guys. Just like to me, when folks say, we can't believe you don't use walker mowers and bag every single thing. And I'm thinking to myself, how do you bag 50, 80, 100, 200, 500 lawns a week? That's the amount of grass clippings would fill a stadium, for our route per year, especially in the spring rush when we got 4, 5, 6 inches of weekly growth. I just could never imagine. So believe it or not, we just side discharge, and even some guys run mulching decks. But to collect all that, there's just no way. Now, that being said, the price a little bit more favorable for a standard, the efficiency, the easeability of working on them typically. You might have a little bit lower center of gravity, arguably for a hill with a zero turn. Some people would argue vice versa. I think that really just comes to your tires, your PSI, and the operator. It's a whole other debate, of course. But now that you have the efficiency and the productivity of bagging spring and fall, I'm going to give it, all these different things. I'm going to give them all the nod to the standard category. And again, it's not like the sit down is bad. It's just if there is the zero turn sit down platforms for maybe all the different brands are, an A minus, A minus, A minus, A minus. Maybe the stand down platforms an A minus, an A, an A minus, an A, and an A. Right? It's not like anything's bad or one's bad or one's good. I'm just more convinced that stand down mowers will be the future of our fleet. Again, I believe that. My guys believe that. Now here's the thing. Let's just cover a little bit of nuance here in case some of you guys are brand new. If you are brand new, it doesn't mean you need to start with an Xmark Vertex with a bagger opportunity or an Xmark Vertex X Series. What I will say is if you ever plan to grow into bagging and doing spring and fall cleanups and you happen to pick a brand, whatever brand it is, make sure, and I've said this on a video this last spring, make sure that you have enough horsepower and it's the right series mower that can support a bagger. So if you're looking at an Xmark Vertex S in this example, and it's 13,000, and a Vertex X that's 15, whether you pay cash or you're financing it, I would encourage you to go with the Vertex X series for that extra $2,000, which is going to cost you $60 more a month. Not that big of a deal. 1, maybe 2 mows, whatever you're doing. But now you have the capacity to add that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 leaf bagger. Right? Same thing when you got a zero-turn mower. Don't get something that's 25, 27, 29 horsepower. Get something that's arguably 29, 31, 34, 37, 39, 38 and a half horsepower. That way you can move into a bagger. Okay. And for a lot of folks, the very first thing that you're going to do to be able to bump revenue besides snow, right, it's going to be spring and fall cleanups, and then, of course, aerations, and then, of course, mulch, right? Those are the natural evolutions of some of those services that you're going to start offering very quickly in your business, okay? At least that's what it was for me. K-U-J-O, Cujo. You know the name, now experience this incredible work shoe for yourself. Hey guys, Brian here, and just a few years ago, I wondered why there wasn't some lightweight, functional shoe for the lawn care industry. A couple of weeks later, I get a message from this new company, Cujo Yardwear, letting me know about a new shoe they created for lawn care pros. We tried them out, put them to work, and the rest, they say, is history. The guys and I love Cujos because they are lightweight, breathable, super comfortable, and keep our feet dry. No more running shoes with flimsy support and soaked socks due to the morning dew or a passing spring shower. Cujo Yardwear is a family-owned company. Sean and Kelsey are a brother-sister team, and they seriously care about offering the best products for our industry. Check them out at Cujo.com. That's Kujo.com. And don't forget to use the Brian's 10 code to save 10% on your next order. Get a pair for you and a pair for your crew. You'll be so happy that you did. Now, maybe you got started in snow, and snow has always been your jam, and you're like, hey, we can start mowing too. Like, who would have thought? But for most folks, it's, hey, you're mowing, and then, hey, you think about adding spring and fall cleanups, and then snow, and so on and so forth, okay? The reason I'm really excited about this topic is just to give some thought out there. Some of you guys have never explored the stand-ons. Some of you guys are sit-downs or die. That's fine. That's totally cool. I would 100% encourage you to check out the stand-on platforms for your particular brand. I know I'm talking Exmark today, but make sure that you give everything a fair shake and don't just say, well, I don't like stand-ons because of X, Y, and Z. Do some research, try them out, demo a couple of units, and then put them through the ringer and decide. Now, if you were going to say to me, well, we tried the Exmark Vertex S series and we didn't like it because the tires were too small. We couldn't jump curbs and, get up onto terraces and different levels at the car dealership or the curbs at the strip mall with the islands. Look, I totally get it. Small tires. But now that the X Series platform is out with the regular size tires and or the Tractus, which are the airless tire version for Exmark, complete game changer, right? We're actually going to unload that the S Series Vertex and likely switch it over to another Vertex X Series by fall, including adding another bagger. And what that would do for us is give us a second, if not third bagger, part of our fleet for spring and fall cleanups, because that's always our bottleneck with cleanups. It's not so much the debris loader. It's not so much labor. It's not so much leaf blowing. It's not even getting the yards done. It's how fast can we vacuum and suck up the frickin' leaves. And usually the first bottleneck for us is baggers with mowers, and the second one is a debris loader. And of course, we're hoping and excited about going from the 18 horsepower Billy Goat that we have to a 37 next year, and likely moving from a dump insert to a dump trailer next year, so we can have a full-blown big dog leaf cleanup setup. Again, these micro efficiencies are what we're doing to continue to grow top line and to continue to grow bottom line. And frankly, a lot of you guys have really enjoyed the last couple of episodes of the podcast because I've just been getting a little bit more raw and authentic and real based on stuff that I think is not sexy and that I feel like nobody wants to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about the new Red Max leaf blower, this. And I'm like, hey, actually, what we're doing to continue to grow revenue is pull one guy off a week and get an extra $8,000 of gross revenue coming in. And that'll be about $4,000 gross profit and, another $2,600 net profit. And some of you guys were like, that is an epiphany. I need help with that. That is exactly where I'm at. And so I feel like it's been a very relatable conversation. And I guess that's what you guys want to hear more about. And I love that. So it seems like more people are on the grow than some of us might be letting on. And all these little details and all these little nuances seem to be helping out. And so from my perspective, this is just what I wanted to share about for a few minutes about what's working in our company, where I see things now, where I see things going. In the future, we will have zero-turn mower sit-downs. They will all be stand-ons. They'll all be equipped with a bagger package. Every mower we buy will have the Tractus tires. Okay, now I know there's like the Michelin, right? Michelin wheels, not Michigan. I'm based in Michigan, but they're called the Michelin wheels, which might be based out of Michigan. I'm not entirely sure. But long story short, all of our mowers will be stand-ons. They'll be 60s. They'll likely have the Cowie EFI. And every crew will have at least one bagger per mowing setup. So if we have one mower, it'll be the one mower with the one bagger, right? If it's, and now of course we'll take the bagger off during summer use, but there you go. If we have 3 mowers on a fleet. It'll be 1, if not 2 units that have baggers, and the third one will be a mower only, right? And so every unit and every trailer setup moving forward will have at least 1, if not 2 mowers, and one of them will be a bagger-equipped Vertex for that crew to do cleanups. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. I'm really excited about that. I don't think it's anything super groundbreaking, but I will just say the Vertex X Series bagger just came in. Really pumped about that. Really excited about putting it through the ringer. A lot of you guys have used the Multi-Force platform and or looking to invest into that. I'm sure some of you guys would like me to weigh in on that for just a quick minute. I know that because we were talking about that in Link. Some guys wanted to throw down for the Multi-Force platform. My quick dissertation on that, after running it for about 300 hours, and then we sold off our platform at a fire sale to a guy over in Minnesota. It was great. It was good at doing everything, great at doing nothing. Now, some people might think that's okay, that's good, like that's all you need, and if that fits the bill, then awesome. So I don't want to ever sound like a hater or deterrent from anybody picking up or scooping up that platform. But in my experience, the tires were too small. I couldn't hop curbs. The mowing cut wasn't great, but it also wasn't bad. You know, it was just kind of a good solid B. We never had the right sites for it for commercial snow plowing. And then we also struggled with how are we transporting this thing around in the winter for the snow plow to keep it moving. You know, that's the biggest thing. Do you buy a $1,000 throwaway trailer? Do you invest into a ramp rack? Do you put ramps on the back of your truck? You can't really do that because the plows are usually too bulky or cumbersome, or you got the wheel wells for a truck. It's just a lot. Now, if you have huge commercial sites and HOAs and you have, apartment complexes and you have retirement communities and assisted living communities, and you have box trucks and you have switch and goes, you know, it might be the best platform since sliced bread for you. For us, we just never invested the time and energy to really retool it and to use it for winter because it just didn't make any sense logistically on how to get this thing around. And everything here needs to happen quick. Like we need to get snow done in 6, 8, 10 hours. And if I can't transport it with me at the time with a truck and or with a truck and salter, then it's just not going to work. And we cannot be pulling trailers around during snowstorms. So to me, unless you have a dedicated sidewalk crew with some Isuzus or some extra box trucks, and you have a larger company where you have 10 plus people and 4 or 5 different crews going out and maybe a designated sidewalk crew, okay, sure, then that platform might make sense. But for 2, 3, 4, 5 guys, we have not found the best way. And after scratching my head 100 different ways to try to figure this out, it just wasn't the platform for us. Now, I'm not saying it's not a great platform in general, because I do agree and understand the idea of having it be the Swiss Army knife, and it can do cleanups, it can do leaf blowing with the turbine, it can do snow plowing and driveways and sidewalks, and it can do, of course, mowing. Like, I get the idea, but what we've found and what my guys have settled on, believe it or not, it might be counterintuitive, is we enjoy having dedicated machines. Okay, so at the end of the day, we've found that we'd rather have Billy Goat stand-on leaf blowers. My guys would rather have 4-wheelers with snow plows or SR mags, which is what we're going to be navigating to in the future for our winter, larger commercial sites and HOAs and sidewalks. And over time, I'm sure we'll have some Isuzus and or some box trucks that would give us the ability to transport those units because, like I just said, we'll have a designated sidewalk crew. But in the meantime, we're not able to keep it moving. If it doesn't move, we sell it or we gift it. That's what we do. That's always been my rule. If things are not here to sit around and collect dust in my company. I don't have that extra bandwidth. I don't have that time to have 2, 5, 10, 100 grand sitting around where I could have that sold on Facebook Marketplace. So we're going to get rid of it or gift it or fire sale it at a phenomenal price to somebody, that's a fan or a follower. Especially if something's gifted to me, I'm not here to just make a buck on it. I'm here to pay it forward to somebody else, But at the end of the day, I think the Multi-Force Platinum platform was like $30,000, and I think we sold it for even half of that. So that definitely went into the young man's favor that bought it over in Minnesota, and he was incredibly grateful. He came down with his dad. And that's what we do. We try to keep everything fair. We try to pay it forward, just try to keep it moving. If it can't bless me more than what I need to do with my obligations for content, then we're just getting rid of it. We're just moving it forward and getting it to the next guy. We've done that with a couple pieces of equipment. And it's just a way to keep paying it forward and to keep things from sitting around rusting out at the end of the day. Because I can't sit like that. We had some extra leaf blowers that were gifted to us. I've gifted them away and I've sold them, some of them for $200 just to make it worth it for somebody, okay? So that's my dissertation on stand-ons. That's my dissertation on sit-downs. Again, I love sit-downs. We have the Laser Z right now with the bagger. If that bagger was transferable to a stander, that would be incredible. Unfortunately, it's its own setup now for the bagger for the Vertex. So we'll have a YouTube video most likely on it tonight. So maybe you guys check out the Brenzal Maintenance YouTube channel after 7. We normally drop a video on Monday, Wednesday, Friday there. We have taken that bagger from the last 2 or 3 platforms with our Laser Z. You know, we've bought 2 or 3 more Laser Zs over the years. My bagger's got to be 8 years old by now. I think that's the one I re-upped in 2016. So we've had it at 2, and if we re-up for another Z, then that'll be our 3rd one that we have transferred that bagger to, just the completion kit and the hardware kit for it. But realistically, what I'm likely going to do here very soon, and if anybody wants to hit me up with offers, I'm not too proud to say, hey, I'm going to sell some stuff off and maybe trade in and trade up. Likely, I'm going to sell off the Vertex S for $6, $7, $8 sell the bagger with our Laser Z for $6, $7, $8 And like I said earlier, take that $15 towards an $18, $19, $20 purchase to a new Vertex X with a bagger and track disc. It was like every bit of $21 That's probably our next move by fall. And that'll give us 2 Vertex X's bagging and I think, and the 3rd Vertex, which would be the 72, but I don't have a bagger on that. And I'm not sure if the bagger works on the 72. I think it's just on the 60 and the 52. All right, so that's what I got for you guys. Explore it. Explore the stand-on option. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. A lot of you guys have the Skag V-Ride 2s. Great platform. Love the Skag V-Ride 2s. Amazing mower. People are like, oh, you're X mark or die. No, I didn't say that. Wright makes a great stand-on. They've got a great bagger system. Skag has a great stand-on with a great bagger system. To be totally fair with you and honest with you, I don't know what John Deere's doing or Ferris is doing or Hustler's doing out there for baggers. I'm sure they have them, no doubt about it. I'm sure they all have them. Or Red Magic Performance is like an aftermarket brand. Some of these different guys out there have platforms to help complete some of those stand-ons with aftermarket vacuum kits, or the hillbilly setups that sometimes you can see on Facebook. That some guy added a mower and an impeller and some tubes and some duct tape, and he's made a blower system with a brute trash can. Hey, whatever, man. If it works, it works. You know what I'm saying? If you can get $1,500 a day and clean up sun in the fall with something like that, then who cares? It doesn't have to be sexy or pretty, right? To suck up leaves. But give it a fair shake, I guess, is what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. Again, not here to convince you guys to move stand-ons. I know that there's still probably, out of mowers that sell, probably 1 in 5, 1 in 7, 1 in 10. So it's not like it's stand-ons or die. Most mowers sold today are zero-turn mowers based on the last bit of data that I got from Exmark last fall. And by then, I don't even remember it, to be honest with you. But for safety, visibility, picking up trash, efficiency, easeability, having the wind, blow through your hair, not getting swamp butt, and having your back able to at least get some airflow. For us, until my guys say otherwise or something comes out that absolutely convinces us to go back to sit downs, we're going to be sticking with the stand-on platform, okay? And there's tons of great options with Exmark. If you guys haven't gave Exmark, I guess, a fair look or fair shake recently, check them out. Tell them Brenzal Maintenance sent you. I'm not sure what that'll do for you. Maybe it'll give you a free hat. Sometimes you buy a $20,000 hat and get a free mower, if you guys know what I'm saying. Nobody's ever been there, done that, right? I want to buy a Bobcat tractor. I'm sure I'll get a Bobcat backpack for $20,000 and then a free tractor out the door, right? One of those deals. So any which way, somebody commented on a video. I wish this guy would stop saying any which way. So should I say at any rate? At any rate, it's been a pleasure getting to hang out with you guys. This is just one of the conversations that we're having. I thought I'd expound upon it a little bit here on the podcast. This is from our link Facebook group and community that we've got there, our peer group. If you guys haven't given it a shot or checked it out, I highly encourage you guys to do it. It's really, really cool. It's $29 a month. It's super nominal. We're not trying to make a huge buck with it or anything like that. But the value add has been huge. Somebody was just talking earlier about enclosed trailer wraps today. And I'm all about that life because we're navigating that conversation as we speak with what we want to do with my old 16-footer and, of course, our new 20-footer, right? Not only counting the trailers, but also the trucks moving forward, too. So it's just a great time to get real-time feedback, ask questions. Maybe you're not a super, posting kind of person on Facebook, but you want to be a wallflower or just observe and see what other people are doing and join in on a Zoom, never turn your mic on, never turn your camera on. Like, that's fine, too. Ton of people in there that are just wallflowers and just, just learning and taking what they want and what they can from it. And that's fine. You don't have to participate or contribute necessarily. So don't ever feel obligated to do that. All right. But if you ever were feeling inclined and you guys want to join, we'll leave a link in the description. You guys can check it out. And make sure you guys do before Wednesdays, because Wednesdays is when we do the live streams at 9 p.m. And of course, if you miss it, they're in your virtual office and you get access to every live stream that we've done since the first part of Black Friday, Cyber Monday in 2023. So you got about 6 months now backlogged Wednesday webinars and the concurring audio only that we ripped it as an MP3. So you guys can always just take it with you on the phone if that way you don't have time to watch the video replays. All right. So that's what I got for you guys on today's podcast for the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Super appreciate you guys coming with us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hope you guys are off to the races, having a productive week. Things are going good over here. We are hitting some good revenue goals. We've got a lot of work to do by summer and fall, I should say, to continue to start selling and working on snow work. That's our next big thing. Snow contracts are starting to sell on launchpreneuracademy.com. If you guys need some good commercial and residential snow contracts, check those out. We can't thank you guys enough for the support there. And just kind of running through a litany here. Oh, a couple new people signed up with Cycle CPA, I heard just the other week. So congratulations to those folks that are getting a bookkeeper, part of their business team. Oh, and another gentleman signed up with LMN. So super appreciate that. I think we do get a kickback from LMN as well. The gentleman was really excited. He said, hey, I'm doing $350,000. He goes, we're doing great. The company's doing awesome, but I just don't feel like I'm making the profit that I feel like I deserve. I've been hearing you talk about exactly where I'm at. We seem to have like a pretty similar sized business. So he just signed up and got the white glove onboarding experience with a promo code Brian, just mention our name. And they gave him the $5,000 onboarding experience for like $997. And that's that white glove experience. Literally somebody holds your hand through the whole process for 3 or so months to help you onboard and plug everything in so you can get everything migrated over from your previous CRM to LMN. Like, how cool is that? Okay, so I don't want to give a pitch. I don't want to give a big plug. I just want to say, like, shout out to those guys getting a better handle on their numbers. Shout out to those guys out there that are getting their CRM figured out and really coming at their business with a no guessing kind of approach, right? Knowing your numbers with a bookkeeper and LMN. That's a 1-2 punch. All right. Just want to say thank you guys for remembering us. Anytime you guys reciprocate with those codes or links, we do get a kickback, and it just goes right back into creating content, making sure Mr. Producer's paid, making sure we can edit videos for you guys on YouTube and keep the mill going. So that's what I got for you guys on this beautiful Monday. Hope you guys are doing well. If you need anything, shoot me an email, briansalmanis2007@gmail.com. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. Let me know what you guys are working with and working through. And sometimes if it's a good topic, we'll do a podcast on it or make a YouTube video on it. So I love hearing what you guys are working with and struggling. So anytime I can help you guys out in that regard, please let me know.
Running a successful lawn care and landscaping business means you are working hard and smart. You're smart about investing in equipment to grow your business, to be more efficient, go the distance, and take more on. Cujo Yardware is working hard to provide you with the absolute best footwear options to help you get the job done. You want efficiency? Trash the grass-stained athletic shoes that fail on slopes and do. You want to go the distance? Forget those overkill boots that weren't built for the yard. You don't have to choose between lightweight comfort or water-resistant traction because Cujo Yardware was built for you. From the comfortable yard shoes to the tough X1 landscape boots, Cujo selected the best quality materials to optimize the performance and satisfaction of lawn care professionals. While you focus on laying killer stripes, Cujo will be there every step of the way. Check them out at Cujo.com, Kujo.com.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.